It's back. The WSL returns. Welcome to Bristol City against Leicester City from Ashton Gate. Bristol City, the winners of the Women's Championship, back in the WSL after 2 years away, facing a Leicester side here who were one of the biggest stories in the Women's Super League last season. At Christmas, you may well remember they had 0 points, and they survived, and they did it in style too. Keep that kind of form up, and they could well be one of the surprise packages this season. Quick glance at the Bristol City lineup. Megan Connolly has arrived from Brighton. She's the new captain for the season. Satara Murray also returns to the club after a spell in the States. And Carrie Jones, who was on loan at Leicester, makes her debut after signing from Manchester United. It's been an impressive summer of recruitment for Leicester. Janina Leipzig has signed on a permanent basis from Bayern Munich. Champions League winner Janice Kaiman arrives from Lyon, and Amy Palmer, who was promoted with Bristol City, lines up here against her old sides. Well, at the start of the game today, there will be a minute's silence. The WSL paying tribute to the life of Maddie Cusack, Sheffield United player who also played for Leicester, who sadly passed away recently. So the Women's Super League returns. Willie Kirk ahead of this match saying one thing is certainly for sure: Leicester are looking to avoid another relegation battle. And they've made some serious moves in this summer's transfer window. Certainly looks as though they have the opportunity to be much more this time around. Bristol City, well, the question there is how quickly can Lauren Smith's side find their feet? Won't be easy. They are the only side in the Women's Super League who won't be backed by a Premier League team. That doesn't necessarily make things easy, that has to be said, but again, they've made some big moves in the summer. Last season, their foundation was their solidity in defence. They were so good at the back. That should stand them in good stead. And they certainly have good backing here. Megan Connolly, the new captain, brings tons of Women's Super League experience. The new captain for the season. And Aileen Whelan is Leicester City's captain. Referee today is Jane Sims. The Women's Super League is up and running then for another season. And we start here with Bristol City against Leicester City. In a pretty rowdy Ashton Gate. Ella Powell trying to advance on the right-hand side, ran into Courtney Nevin, the Australian. And it will be a goal kick for one of Leicester City's new signings, although it's not a completely new face. Janina Leitzig, a big signing for Leicester over the summer. There were other clubs who were certainly offering more for her services. But she seems to have found a home here with Leicester City. Her kick away, leading to first free kick of the game, a free kick for Willie Kirk's Leicester. Well, we know what to expect from Leicester City after the run that they went on at the end of last season. They will look to dominate the ball. They will look to dominate territory. They love to control. Trying to make their way forward here on the left-hand side. O'Brien wins another free kick for Leicester. Here is Amy Palmer to take this one, facing up here against her old side. And she sends one in towards the penalty spot where she's looking for the flick on. She gets the flick on from Whelan. Whelan attempting an effort on goal, but she saw that one turned away by the Bristol City defence. And Leicester will start again on the halfway line here with O'Brien, who's happy to go all the way home. Back to Janina Leitzig. Well, Leicester were looking for another free kick. Leizal was the one who went in to make the challenge, partnering Murray at the back here for this one this afternoon. Well, there's plenty of other action on the FA Player today. Everton and Brighton is already underway, and you can certainly catch that one with us. And then another 2 o'clock game. Arsenal start their WSL season against Liverpool, and that game is on the FA Player for you right now as O'Brien comes forward here on the left-hand side and makes her way to the byline and wins a corner. West Ham against Manchester City kicks off in just under an hour too on the FA Player. Right the way across the season, we've got you covered with all of the FA Player action in the WSL, ready for you to consume. We'll be with you every step of the way. Well, Leicester have certainly started fairly brightly here. Bristol City able to deal with the corner. And it will be a goal kick for Fran Bentley, who had a fabulous season last season. And this was the attack that led to the corner kick. Well defended in the end by Brooke Aspin, who stepped across. And Fran Bentley with the clearance away, which is controlled by Rachel Furness, manages to keep her feet. The referee tried to play the advantage. There wasn't really one for Bristol City, and so the players pull back here for a Bristol City free kick. Leizal's pass. Chance to attack here for Bristol City, into a good position as well. Just run away from them as they were making the break. Well, Leicester will certainly take the game to Bristol City here. And they can't play with fear. Have to be confident. Ball is won back high up the field by Megan Connolly, who will be so important for Bristol City, you feel, this season. Bags of experience, not only for Brighton, but internationally too, for the Republic of Ireland. And it's Connolly on the ball, who's happy to go back to Satara Murray. Back in a Bristol City shirt after some time away in the United States. The long ball over the top doesn't quite work out, but it does lead to a first corner kick of the game for Bristol City. Well, these two faced each other in a pre-season game, so they will know a bit about each other, although it does feel as though that pre-season game came such a long time ago. Plenty of time has passed since then, although it did give both coaches the opportunity to suss out the opposition ahead of the opening day in the Women's Super League. Bristol City players in formation, waiting for the corner, which comes in with real speed. Was heading in the direction of Murray, and it's Leicester who can now break away, and this is where they can be so deadly. Well, the attack led by Lena Peterman, the new signing for Leicester City. Doesn't really lead to too much. He made the break up towards the halfway line, and didn't really have a pass on as she made her way up into opposition territory. Lazel with the throw-in has come through the Bristol City Academy, which is a pretty famous academy, responsible for some pretty big talent in English football. The likes of Mary Earps and Lauren Hemp have come through that academy at one stage. Courtney Nevin with a searching pass forwards. Nicely worked by Peterman, wide towards O'Brien, who is swiftly dealt with by Ella Powell on the right. Nevin's pass into midfield. Leicester trying to work the opportunity, but not being given the chance to do that. Nevin's throw-in is cut out again, and it's good defending by the Bristol City back line. Young Australian looking for an option, finding O'Brien. Peterman battling for it and giving away the free kick. Big signing for Leicester City, Lena Peterman, amongst many big signings. But last season they really struggled for goals. Just 15 in the Women's Super League made Leicester City the lowest scorers in the top division. On 13 occasions they drew blanks, and that had to change, and that's why they have brought in Lena Peterman, the German international. Didn't go to the World Cup, arrives from Montpellier, where she scored a fair few, 26 in 48 league appearances. Here is Missy Goodwin on the right-hand side. Well, she's full of direct running. Will be a big challenge for the Bristol City defence. It was Leicester who saw her out of play, and Leicester will look to work the crossing opportunity here. Furness is back there, but she loses out in the challenge with Missy Goodwin. Nice clearance by Murray. Stepped in to deny Lena Peterman the chance to turn. Janice Keiman, the Belgian international. No player has played more for Belgium. Has bags of experience. Missy Goodwin's cross, intercepted by Murray. Keiman's pass overhit and thumped away. Nicely worked by Bristol City to build the attack. And a good recovery to deny Ella Powell the chance to deliver the cross into the penalty area. Well, they worked it really nicely to open up the space here, Bristol City, but then O'Brien sliding in did enough. Well, both sides taking a while to create anything meaningful in this game. We've not really seen a big chance to test either Janina Leitzig or Fran Bentley. Often see this in the first game of the season, though, even despite a much longer period for pre-season this time around. Well, Rachel Furness went sliding in to win the ball back there, and the referee said unfair challenge. The Northern Ireland international feeling slightly differently about the way the decision should have gone, but Amy Palmer, the former Bristol City midfielder, certainly feeling the effects of that one. Powell's challenge. Ball straight back with Leicester, though. Furness not hanging around in that central position. Pass through intercepted. Palmer trying to work her magic here. She works it wide. Missy Goodwin looking for the early ball. And it won't quite reach Lena Peterman. Quick thinking from Missy Goodwin. Nearly paid off too. Space here for Leicester on the left-hand side. Courtney Nevin, who was at the World Cup in the summer with Australia, wasn't used a whole bunch, only 17 minutes of action for Australia as they made it through to the semi-finals, where, of course, you will probably remember they lost out to England. But I imagine that was some experience and will be key in her development. She was such a key player for Leicester City last season. Leicester were far more aggressive with the way they pushed their fullbacks forwards. And that, of course, came with the arrival of Willie Kirk, and it's Nevin here trying to force her way through, and now Furness, who's robbed of possession. And there is all this room on this side of the field. And Keiman will head into that space. Worked nicely here, Tierney's pass. Missy Goodwin set away. It's Goodwin looking to create the cross. Drives towards the byline, and she's seen out of play. Well, I would imagine that Lauren Smith, the coach of Bristol City, would be pretty happy so far with how this game has played out. Leicester, despite all of their big signings this summer, have been restricted here to very little action in and around their penalty area. Well intercepted by Connolly. And the breakaway here on the left-hand side with Carrie Jones. Jones turns. Well tracked on her way back by Palmer, but she has managed to wriggle free. Good work by Jones, and a decent sliding challenge to turn the ball away. Powell will go for goal. Well, it was always pretty ambitious, especially against Janina Leipzig. And she quickly rolled away, and Leicester City can break over the halfway line. Peterman is waiting here on the left-hand side. It's Lena Peterman here for Leicester. Peterman's ball. He's still alive here with Missy Goodwin. And now Aileen Whelan trying to find the room to shoot. And it's brought away by Bristol, who continue to defend well. Well, here was the chance for Ella Powell, which she struck really well. It was well saved by Janina Leipzig. And Leipzig was then quickly able to turn defence into attack. Leicester looking to break. Well, Willie Kirk said to me the other day that Leicester spent the summer focusing on themselves. They played 6 friendlies over the summer. They didn't really do a lot of opposition analysis. Willie Kirk said it was all about Leicester as far as they were concerned. They were thinking about their shape and their key principles. They have 6 key principles that they tried to stick to. Those were kept a secret, though, in our conversation. But we know that out of possession, Leicester like to try and win the ball back high up the fields, and we can see them trying to dominate the ball at every given opportunity here. Bristol standing up to it, holding firm with their resistance. And looking for that ball forward here towards Amelie Testrup, another new signing. Well intercepted, and it will be a throw in here for Fionn Morgan. Well, again, Testrup trying to get in on the action, but it's Amy Palmer who's in there to intercept. Well, Connolly made the spin. I don't think she was necessarily expecting the ball, and Sophie Howard was able to make the interception. Bristol City trying to open things up here on the left-hand side. No room to move out there. Fionn Morgan has won the throw-in, though. One that she takes quickly. Morgan's ball. Oh, was a dangerous looking one in towards the front post. Testrup have made the run. Whenever Janina Leipzig has it, you can see she's looking to release that ball as quickly as possible. Powell. Challenged by the recovering Lena Peterman. Bristol City throw. O'Brien's head up. Tierney tries to send it on its way. Didn't really connect with the ball. And Brooke Aspin, who made the move to Chelsea in the summer but has been loaned back to Bristol City, plays the pass all the way back to her goalkeeper, Murray. Well, saw the runner. Testrup again making good angles with these runs. Well, you did wonder how Bristol City might look to set up here and what their approach would be, whether they might be quite defensive in the early stages here. That hasn't really been the case. Have looked good defensively. And there have been some nice patterns that have been established in midfield as they try to work better chances. Tierney here receiving some attention from the referee, going down under a challenge. Leicester free kick, and Tierney looks as though she will be okay here to continue, which is great news for Leicester. O'Brien. Well, it's an interesting battle that's developing here on the right-hand side of Bristol City's defence. And so far, Ella Powell has managed to deal with the threat of O'Brien, has conceded the corner, though, here. It's whipped in towards the front post. And Palmer will get another go here. And Furness is there to make the header. Well, the referee gave the free kick, and just for a moment you wondered which way the finger was about to point. Will be a free kick to Bristol City. O'Brien will have another go here at testing Ella Powell. And again, the winner is Powell. Nevins there is back up. And again, in comes that flying, sliding challenge from Ella Powell, who's having a hell of a game so far. Well, elsewhere in the Women's Super League, there are goals that are going in. It looks as though Manchester United are about to snatch all 3 points against Aston Villa, who only have 10 players on the pitch after Kirsty Hansen was sent off. A late goal for Manchester United there. Corner delivered in. And at the second time of asking, Murray is able to get there. Good first hour of the game for Brighton in their game against Everton, currently 2-0 ahead. And Leicester trying to work the chance on the edge of the penalty area. Will go for goal from range. Well, Fran Bentley was certainly scuttling across there, looked slightly concerned as the chance came in. The effort just over the top of the bar. Best chance of the game, I would say. Rachel Furness unable to get to the ball and make the challenge. And Nevin with a good square pass up into midfield. Leicester haven't really been able to connect with Lena Peterman. Not yet anyway. Long ball forward by Bristol City, and it may drop here for a chance. Well, it very nearly did. Carrie Jones was hovering around. Nina Leitzig manages to tidy things up in the end. Well, that's what Bristol City need to try and do a bit more. They have created moments of indecision at the back, and this was certainly one of those. Janice Kaiman has found Missy Goodwin here, who can make her way forwards. Worked it wide for a crossing opportunity here. But again, Bristol City managed to get back. It's Naomi Lazell this time at the block. Missy Goodwin with another crossing opportunity. Slips it through to Thibault. Room here in a central position. Well, Janice Kaiman will be disappointed that she hasn't at least tested Fran Bentley from there. Really nicely worked by Leicester City, but the final effort on goal skewed wide by Kaiman. Well, I've done plenty of commentary on Janice Kaiman during her time with Lyon. Very versatile player, can play in a number of positions. Happy to play a more forward role. More than anything, she is a winner. Has won the league title in France, Champions League, winners' medals. She's got those as well. And that's really important if you are Leicester City and you are looking to build and take yourself to the next level. Sophie Howard, who was on the mark for Scotland during the Nations League break. And now Tierney trying to thread one through, but it's quick thinking from Fran Bentley. Might just have injured herself here, but she's gone sliding in. Had a fabulous upbringing. Fran Bentley came through the Manchester United and Manchester City academy. Had time with both. But the fall did look pretty awkward as she came out there. Hopefully she'll be okay. Well, we can look back at the highlights, or some of them, from the game so far. This battle on the right-hand side of Bristol City's defence has been really intriguing. Ella Powell coming off the better so far, and this was perhaps the best chance of the game from range. Sophie Howard trying her luck. Leicester have worked some good opportunities. Here's another. Janice Kaiman didn't connect that time. But you feel that Leicester are starting to come into the game more and more, and this would be a big moment in the match if Fran Bentley were to have to come off. Bristol City did make a big move in the summer with Marchese coming in, signing on a season-long loan from Arsenal. And she's a player who's got plenty of experience and could come in to replace Fran Bentley. Was with a side called Kerr from Denmark. You may be aware of them if you follow the Champions League regularly. So she's got lots of Champions League experience, Marchese. Although it would be a big loss for Bristol City, of course, to lose a player who was so important for them last season. Looks as though Fran Bentley will be okay to continue here. "15 minutes to go until half-time. And the hobbling Fran Bentley, for now, looks as though she'll be okay to continue. Nevin trying to get herself away from trouble. Amis Hestrup was looking to win the ball. Howard's pass is loose. Bristol City, through Fionn Morgan, have given the ball away though. And here is O'Brien. O'Brien is forced back towards Amy Palmer. Thibault. Brilliant long ball over the top, but Missy Goodwin in an offside position. Perhaps a surprise inclusion. Missy Goodwin today, the England under-20 international, on the right-hand side for Leicester. Both sides have plenty of options from the bench. Bristol City working their way through on the edge of the penalty area. Good-looking chance and a brilliant goal. Carrie Jones, with her first for Bristol City, gets their WSL season up and running with an absolute stunner. Well, that's just the start that they would have been hoping for. Just opened up on the edge of the penalty area, and a deflection takes it through and beyond Janina Leitzig. Bristol City, with the first goal of the game, they lead here 1-0. Well, she was on loan at Leicester last season, played 19 games for the club and scored just twice. Reunited with Lauren Smith. They used to work together at Cardiff. And she has grabbed the first goal of Bristol City's new campaign. Well, that should give them some confidence. They've sat back, they've absorbed the pressure, and now here they come pushing for another. Furness trying to make her way into the box. She was pretty well looked after. And it rolls away for a goal kick. Well, now Leicester have to try and react. They were so good in the second part of last season. But Bristol City so far have had the measure of Willie Kirk's side. And when they were given the opportunity, they took advantage. Playing some impressive football, Bristol City. They knock the ball around really nicely when they're given the opportunity to do so. You can see newly promoted sides come up in any division and they look quite nervous. Doesn't look to be the case here. And that's a real credit to Lauren Smith and the coaching staff and how hard that they've obviously worked over the summer. Rachel Furness with the pass. Manages to find Rogers. Ball floated wide into a crossing position, and here is Morgan. Morgan sends one in. This could be trouble at the back. Well, it was intercepted by Sophie Howard, who puts the cross over the top of the bar, but it did look for a moment slightly nervous at the back for Leicester City here. Inviting cross from Fionn Morgan to win the corner kick in the end. Deep corner to the back of the area is dealt with by Lena Peterman, who was back there. Amy Rogers doing well. Amy Rogers is tackled though, and now some work to do at the other end for Bristol City. Well, the pass back does make it, and Janina Leitzig is there. Thibault with the long pass away. Well, both sides have plenty of new signings, and it was always going to be about who could settle the quicker. And Leicester's new look side struggling to create the chances to really trouble Fran Bentley. We have seen them in goal scoring positions, but their best chance so far, a long range strike from Sophie Howard. If you dig into the stats from last season, their expected goals, or their XG, well, it just wasn't good enough. It was the worst in the league, and that tells you that Leicester weren't creating enough good chances, enough big chances. And the challenge remains the same here. Nice idea with the ball over the top, but it ends up in the gloves of Fran Bentley. Aileen Whelan was the target through the middle, making that late run that we've seen from her time and time again down the years in the Super League. Furness with the touch. Well, it only needed the slightest of touches to find Megan Connolly. Furness did that. Connolly's touch was a bit heavy. She wanted the ball back, but Bristol City going the direct route, and they've opened up another good-looking attack, and it needed the sliding recovery from Sophie Howard to touch that one away for a corner. Really opened up here. And Carrie Jones could so easily have had another. Bristol City players are split between the goalkeeper and the penalty spot. And now they make their move. Well, in the end, no bother. And through it goes. Peterman quickly bringing O'Brien into play. O'Brien will this time get the cross into the area. First time she's managed to get beyond Ella Powell. Unable to find a teammate in the middle. And Sophie Howard with a quick pass out towards the opposite side finds Missy Goodwin. Goodwin looking to slip it through. And it's a goal-scoring chance for Leicester, which is well blocked. And the ricochet comes here to O'Brien, who will go for goal and lift the effort over the top of the bar. Better from Leicester. Coming forward, searching for the equalising goal. Tierney with the chance. Well dealt with in the end by Bristol City at the back, and then O'Brien could only lift this one over the top of the crossbar. Tierney's touch, and it was a good one as well. That wasn't such a good ball though. Pass straight out of play. And Bristol City will have a goal kick here. An opportunity to watch the goal back. And Carrie Jones really got behind this one. Yanina Leipzig beaten. Big smiles here at Ashton Gate for the home side. Taking their first big step. Missy Goodwin trying to break away. Has Whelan waiting. Well, the pass doesn't quite make it to anyone in a Leicester shirt. And again, Bristol City have dealt with the threat at the back. There may be an injury here. Missy Goodwin feeling the effects of a challenge as she tried to cross the ball into the area. Well, this was the opportunity for Bristol City to potentially make it two. Carrie Jones again pulled away. Good recovery by Sophie Howard. And then at the other end, Tierney's shot well blocked. Could have been trouble there for Fran Bentley. And O'Brien will feel that she could have done more here. Just a minute to go until the break. We've had a few stoppages. Might be a couple of minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. Had the injury to Fran Bentley, who now looks okay, which is good news for Bristol City. Rachel Furness forced back, but she did well to keep the ball. And Satara Murray, who's looked really solid, happy to go back towards Fran Bentley, and you can just see the confidence that Bentley inspires in the defence at the back. Rachel Furness with the long ball forward, looking for Ella Powell, who started the game on the right-hand side. Switched across towards the left here. Will be a minimum of 3 minutes additional time, just in case you didn't catch that a moment ago. Furness was the option that Bristol City were looking for from the throw-in here. One back by Leicester City. Tierney, clever pass. Missy Goodwin is away and up into the penalty area. Low delivery into the box. What a super block that was. Oh, what a hit though. What a hit to score the equalising goal. Some response from Leicester City, who fire themselves back into this one against their old sides. Amy Palmer with a fabulous goal. Well, the breakaway initially was good. It looked as though the moment had gone, but then this. Amy Palmer smashes one, rifles it right up into the top corner. Well, it's a big blow for Bristol City fans as their old player comes up trumps. Well, two brilliant goals in the game. And Amy Palmer there looked as though she didn't really want to celebrate, but when you score a goal like that, it's almost hard not to. Bristol City trying to get themselves back ahead here. Ball will fly up into the air. Big deflection on that. It looked as though Janina Leipzig probably had that covered. Well, it's probably a fair reflection on the game that Leicester have got themselves level here. And didn't they do it in spectacular fashion? Now here comes Lena Peterman, trying to steer the ball around the corner. Wins the throw-in here. Should be the final moment of the first half. Whelan in towards Tierney. It's Whelan again. Well, she went to try and beat Fran Bentley at the front post, and the goalkeeper had that one covered. Looked really promising though for Leicester, who found a good position inside the area. Well, there goes the whistle for half-time. It looked as though it was the same old story for Leicester City, struggling to create goal-scoring opportunities again, just as they were last season. But then Amy Palmer changed all of that with a spectacular equaliser just before the break, after Carrie Jones had scored the first. At half-time, it's Bristol City 1, Leicester City 1. Well, these are the highlights of the first half, of which there have been plenty. It's been a really good game. Ella Powell's been brilliant in the first half on both the right and the left-hand side, because she's switched sides. Had one chance here where she tested Janina Leipzig from range. At the other end, she's had her hands full too with Shannon O'Brien. Did well here, sliding in. Sophie Howard's had a super chance to score. Leicester haven't been scared to shoot on sight. And Janice Kaiman had the chance to open her account for Leicester, but she skewed the chance, something that Carrie Jones certainly didn't do, as she made her way through, and the deflected strike crept in, and it looked as though at half-time Bristol City were going to go in 1-0 ahead. She had a chance to grab a second as well, did well to beat Janina Leipzig. Sophie Howard managed to scramble that one clear though. And then just as it looked as though Bristol City had done enough, Leicester started to fight their way back in the game. Tierney with a good chance that was blocked, O'Brien with an opportunity that was sent over the top. And then this special strike from Amy Palmer. Up into the top corner it went. And there was the equaliser just before the break, just what Bristol City didn't need, but a special, special goal. And it could well have been more. Whelan with a chance just before half-time. It was well saved by Fran Bentley. So at half-time here it's Bristol City 1, Leicester City 1. We'll be back on the FA Player with the second half in just a bit.
Excited, would say nervous, but nervous doesn't really suit me, so yeah, excited. We're passionate about what we're trying to do, we know what we're going after, we know it's going to be tougher than it ever has been, so very excited of what's to come.
I'm feeling really excited and curious in the new season to see how far we'll reach with Chelsea.
What excites me about this team is we've had very little disruption to the current squad, being able to bring in Jill Roord, who's a top player.
We have a new team together and I'm really excited to see how we can do in this WSL and looking forward to it.
We've had a good pre-season so far, 7 new signings who are bedded in well. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we're really pleased with the performance levels. We've had some tough games in pre-season, tested ourselves against European opposition.
I think it's going to be a big step up this year, but I think we're riding the confidence of promotion and we're hoping to really carry it into this year.
I'm looking forward to it. We've obviously got new players in, new manager in, fresh start, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the season starting.
The team goal is to win trophies. Right now we have the cup to give everything for and the league, so of course we want to win trophies this year.
Team goals for the season is to win. We want to be successful, we want to win trophies, we enjoy winning silverware, so that's got to be the aim. We're in it to win it.
We just need to work and improve on what we did well at the end of last season, compete with the top teams and be in and around it.
If we can be even better in the aspects of keeping the ball, be good at dominating the games, doesn't matter if it's top 4, if it's the rest of the league. We want to have our own identity, and so basically just building on that.
I think it's just building on what we did towards the end of last season. We obviously have our internal goals, but as a team we'll be looking to build on what happened last season, yeah.
To be competitive, we want to make sure that we surprise teams, and that doesn't necessarily mean in the obvious ways. It means in the fact that we've got ambition, grit, we want to prove our point, we want to play football. And we want to make sure it's exciting for fans because they've been following us through this journey the last 2 years. So I want to make it just as enjoyable for them again.
Ooh, definitely hard-working.
Ambitious, is that the right word?
Together.
Quality.
Driven.
Funny.
Passionate.
Togetherness is one word.
I think resilient as well.
Relaxed.
Good people.
Passion.
We love our fans, they're great.
The fans should come down and watch us because we will leave nothing in the tank. We'll put it all out there, we'll work our absolute socks off. So please fans, come and watch us.
We have a good team, we have a team that's passionate, and we've got some talented players at this football club, and we're really looking forward to seeing what we can achieve this year.
I really hope that we in Chelsea can put out a show for the fans, play some good football, show some winning mentality, both when it goes good, but we want to do it even better, but also when it's not that easy. I think this season will be extremely competitive, and yeah, there's no reason for the fans not to be there.
We're playing against some of the best players in the world, playing against some of the best teams, and it's our chance to make our mark.
The fans should watch Arsenal because we play good football, we play exciting football, we want to score goals and we want to have possession and dominate games.
They rock Walsall time and time again. The support towards last season was arguably one of the best in the division.
So get your tickets now, guys.
Our fans should look out for every every new signing that we have made. Really interesting players with different qualities. So yeah, watch out.
Yeah, we're pleased with who we brought in. What we wanted to do with this recruitment was make sure that we added strength and depth competition for places. We needed goals, so Sophia Roman coming in is a big part of that. We're looking forward to seeing how she settles in.
Janice came in. I think she's very composed on the ball, and then I'd also say Deanne Rose because she's got a lot of experience in the league and she's very quick.
As I said, it's a very new look side, a lot of new signings, but I think that's exciting. We're a new look team, but we're excited to show what we can do.
We've obviously got to 5th spot for the first time, so I think what's different is the ambition and drive from the club is, you know, high from us, and hopefully we can do well this year.
New squad, we lost quite a few players last season. We've also got a new manager, so I think our style of play will change. Maybe the formations that we play within that, yeah, so quite a few changes.
Last season was a really tough season, but it was almost just about surviving, whereas now we've got a fresh slate, so everyone's really excited to get going.
Davison with the deep cross, nodded down by Carney. Here's Mielder, brilliant goal! Maren Mielder.
Midfield, great shots from just outside the 18-yard box, and City do take the lead.
Through Evans down the right-hand side, they're finding a space out on this right. Beth Mead works a shot, crushes it in to the corner of the net. Well, once it arrived at Beth Mead's feet, you really didn't doubt anything else.
Percival's lost it, here's England. Oh! A stunner! Last season's top scorer off the mark inside 4 minutes, and it is a beautiful goal from Bethany England.
It's to be Williams. Oh, how about that?
Good close control by Ford. Here's Miedemar. A howitzer from Vivian Miedemar.
Nicely done by Toon. And then the hit is in magnificently. Olavallia with a beauty to double Manchester United's lead.
Will be mailing, it'll be over the wall, and it'll be in. And that is the equaliser, and it comes from a set piece.
Horton takes it, and Horton buries it. It is a fourth brilliant Manchester City goal. No scuffers or tap-ins here, just utter excellence.
There's her pace, there's her pace. That's it, taking her clear of Eriksson, who cut down on the angle. He gets a shot away, it's a ripper. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1 it was. And all of a sudden Arsenal are ahead with a splendid Beth Mead goal.
Well defended, but Lehman got it back, and there's Daly to sweep it in for two. Debut goal for Rachel Daly, and we have a big shock on our hands here. Put it in first time, looking for Shaw again. It'll drop for Laura Coombs, 3-2. What about this from Manchester City?
space here in midfield for Neville. Neville will go for goal here. Oh, what a strike! What a goal! First day of the season for Spurs, and it's Ashley Neville lighting things up with a super strike. Welcome back to Bristol City and Leicester City, the first game back in the Women's Super League on the FA Player. At the Breakhall Square, 1-1. Carrie Jones with the early goal for Bristol City, if you are just joining us. And then some equaliser from Amy Palmer against her former side. A spectacular hit that rose up into the top corner with some power. And on the opening day, well, so far it's been a very good contest. Bristol City will be very conscious that they don't let things slip, having worked so hard to put themselves ahead in the game. And Leicester will feel as though they are in the ascendancy after the equalising goal. Saw from Leicester last season that they were able to dominate the ball, able to dominate games. They haven't really been able to stamp that kind of authority on the game so far, with Bristol City working really hard to disrupt at every given opportunity. We understand that there are some Leicester changes that might not be too far away. Well, we're ready to get back underway for the second half. Two changes for Leicester, which you may have just seen. Julie Thibault and Amy Palmer, would you believe it, coming off of the field. And Josie Green and Jutta Rantalat, the two coming on. Back underway then for the second half, and Amy Palmer, after her brilliant goal, has been removed here. Josie Green, a new signing, Jutta Rantalat, the Finnish international, onto the field, has been in brilliant form for Finland, scored again over the international break in the Nations League. Another big signing for Leicester City. And perhaps a change in formation as Willie Kirk looks to stop the flow of Bristol City's attacks. They have a free kick early on in the second half. In a pretty good position as well. Well, Jutta Rantsala, who has just come onto the field, is the one looking to take this free kick. The referee, who is Jane Sims, will force the wall back. They're about 5 yards away from the ball. And a chance for Leicester fans to see what Jutta Rantsala is all about here. Rantsala into the wall, and Leicester have tried to work it through, and they did create a brilliant opportunity to score. Fran Bentley had other ideas though and came sliding out to pick up the pieces. Clever pass here from Rantsala, slipped it through, and Josie Green, who also came onto the field, fed the ball on its way, and Fran Bentley was there to gather up. Positive start to the second half for Leicester City here at Ashton Gate. Leicester using the width of the pitch. Missy Goodwin with a loose pass. Well, you'll often hear managers talk about identifying certain games where they can pick up 3 points. And given the way that Leicester City have aggressively approached this second half with the 2 changes, you would imagine that they are targeting this particular matchup. They certainly weren't bad in the first half. Sent wide by Nevin. Another shooting opportunity here for Leicester, and they've gone ahead. Just 3 minutes into the second half. From 1 goal behind, now 2-1 ahead. It's O'Brien who's given the room to roam, and she slams one beyond Fran Bentley. It's another fine goal for Leicester. So much room here to pick her spot. You felt that maybe she would go in the opposite direction. It's well disguised. And it's a brilliant goal. Bristol City 1, Leicester City 2. Well, Shannon O'Brien was kept pretty quiet on that side of the field by Ella Powell in the first half. First real time that we've seen her able to find the room, and once she found that space, she used it to devastating effect. Flick on by Rachel Furness. Leicester again finding space on the edge of the penalty area. Lovely pass. Rantsala fed it through. And this time Fran Bentley is there to gather the chance up. How about this for weight on the pass? Perfectly sent through by the new signing Jutta Rantsala. Well, Jutta Rantsala has just sat in behind Lena Peterman, and it's perhaps the support that she didn't have in the first half. Peterman sliding in, and Rantsala there. Again, it's a brilliant ball. Makes her way into the box for the return pass. Peterman was arriving as well. Well, how about that for an injection of energy from Jutta Rantsala? And how about this for a goal from Shannon O'Brien? Leicester into the driving seat now in the second half. Perhaps slightly tentative in the first period. They've been anything but here in the second half. The corner sent in towards the front post. And Wheeler making a nuisance of herself here. And winning another corner. Big header, big goal from the corner, and it's Lena Peterman who's there. On her debut for her new club, powers the header beyond Fran Bentley. Some second half for Leicester, 6 minutes gone, 2 goals to make it Bristol City 1, Leicester City 3. How about this? Loses her marker, finds the space, and it's an absolute bullet. Well, when I spoke to Willie Kirk, he said that Lena Peterman is a true professional, so dedicated, and described her as a really good Mercedes, which I thought was a lovely description. And she started her Leicester City career with a brilliant goal. It's exactly why she was brought in. Leicester needing to find that goal-scoring touch. They were the lowest scorers in the Women's Super League last season. And they've certainly found it here, having been behind in the game. They are now in full control. O'Brien, Peterman and Palmer on the score sheet for them. Something of a shock for Bristol City here. They were able to compete in the first half. It has been a completely different story in the second. And Leicester fans will certainly be excited because, well, they made plenty of moves in the summer. 2 of their new players already on the score sheet with debut goals. Nevin working the pass wide, and here comes O'Brien now. Another chance to attack. Held up this time. Has to play the pass back. Rantala back to O'Brien. And now Nevin. It's all Leicester here. And Kaiman. Well, it looked destined to find the back of the net until Fran Bentley intervenes. Brilliant save from the goalkeeper, but you feel as though these chances raining down on Bristol City, well, they're certainly not over yet. Leicester City have come out in the second half and they are ramped up and ready to go. Corner into the 6-yard box. And Furness with the header. Well, Leicester again with another chance. This time Aileen Whelan, who came from nowhere to put on the pressure. It's piling on now for Bristol City. You rarely see a headed goal like that one. Fran Bentley was at full stretch. Over the top of the bar it goes. Well, talk about transformations. Leicester City struggling to create chances in the first half, but how about that for substitutions? and in particular Utarantala making a big impact. Looks as though Bristol City are about to make a change any moment, and it feels as though they really need to as well. Could be a double change. Missy Goodwin with quick feet, releases the pass into the area. Well, the chance is now coming at will. Lovely breakaway here by Missy Goodwin. And the defence doing just about enough as Brooke Aspin came across. They have conceded the corner. Corner that will be taken here by Courtney Nevin. Nevin goes deep, and Tierney has to make her way across to recover the ball. Big header away by Satara Murray. O'Brien trying to turn one around the corner. Peterman was there, but so too the Bristol City defenders. And Furness is able to spin away. Well, she was able to do that initially, then she was pulled back. And the referee, Jane Sims, blows the whistle for the free kick, and we can get these Bristol City substitutions. Well, Amy Rogers is replaced here by Emily Syme. Had a big part to play in the promotion last season, Emily Syme. And Fia Morgan, who had an excellent first half, replaced here by new signing, Jamie Lee Napier. She's arrived from London City Lionesses, has plenty of Women's Super League experience as well. She is a winger by trade. Bristol City looking to add some pace to proceedings as they try and get a route back into the game. They found some room here in midfield. Their goalscorer Carrie Jones with a chance which is blocked, and it has been cleared away here by Janina Leitzig, who's been pretty quiet in the second half, it has to be said. Well, it's Bristol City who make their way forward here. Jones trying to squeeze it through. Brilliant interception, though. Sophie Howard was there to make the challenge. And Missy Goodwin, despite being pulled back, keeps going. There was an unfair challenge from Jamie Lee Napier. Hyman has been a bit more central in the second half of this game. And here is Tierney. Missy Goodwin waiting for the free kick. The referee was waiting to see if there was an advantage. And Jamie Lee Napier gets a talking to. Well, over the course of the season, Bristol City will have to find resolve. They will have to dig deep. They are the underdogs in the Women's Super League. They will have to learn quickly. They have just under half an hour of regular time here to try and change the outcome of this game. Concede more, and you'd consider that a bit of a disaster. But if they can score here, well, it's completely different outlook on the game all of a sudden. Missy Goodwin can't break forward on the right-hand side. Has won a throw-in. And the flag is raised, and that will be a free kick. Well, it was a clever touch by Carrie Jones, but it was one that was well spotted by the Leicester City defence. And now Nevin on the break finds the lively Ransola. Only had 17 minutes so far, Ransola, to make an impact on this game, but hasn't she done that? Peterman trying to break away, looking for her second. I think there was a feeling that Lena Peterman might take a while to adapt. It might take a while before we see the best of her. Leicester fans will be delighted to see that she has got her name on the score sheet straight away. There was certainly a feeling that Leicester had to fill some gaps with the players that they brought in. That's what they've looked to do. The big gap was a lack of experience that they certainly didn't have last season. We'll look at the team now, full of experience. Thibault's come in, Kaiman, and of course Lena Peterman, to name a few. And the signing of Janina Leitzig is a big one. While Shannon O'Brien is down receiving treatment, we can look at the latest chance that came for Leicester City. Another goal-scoring opportunity here. Kaiman pushing over the top of, seeing her effort pushed over the top of the bar by Fran Bentley. And Leicester making a change. And the Canadian international, Deanne Rose, is the one who will be introduced here. Missy Goodwin coming off. And it's the end of the afternoon too for Lena Peterman, with Hannah Kane coming onto the pitch. Brilliant start to life at Leicester City for Lena Peterman, with a goal on her first outing. And Hannah Kane, who came back from that big injury and looked so good last season, will get the final 25 minutes or so here to show what she's all about. Well, a triple change, in fact, for Leicester. They are also bringing on CJ Bott, the Kiwi international. And Shannon O'Brien. Looked as though she was just clipped just a moment ago. I'm not sure if Leicester are being safe, but she has been taken off of the field here. Brilliant goal at the start of the second half from her as she burst inside, and that was really the catalyst for Leicester. Perhaps no need to risk her with so many big games ahead. So Bott, Kane and Rose all into the action. Leicester with real depth this season. You don't really feel as though any of those substitutions make them weaker. Murray's pass back, Bentley not giving any time, quickly closed down. This could be trouble. Kaiman can't control, Furness with the header. It's back in Leicester possession though. And Furness in the end, well, taking no risks, thumps the ball away. Rantalat again taking up a good position, feeding the ball through. Deanne Rose looking to deliver the cross. Couldn't do that, and the ball goes away for a goal kick. We certainly saw this from Leicester. They were one of the most aggressive teams in the second half of the season. We heard that from a number of managers, and they are really pushing in this second half, trying to win the ball high up the field, applying the pressure. And it's something that so far Bristol City just haven't been able to deal with in this second period. Furness trying to dig out the ball away. Only succeeds in finding CJ Bott, who is back in the fold. Was of course away at the World Cup in the summer with New Zealand. Didn't quite go to plan on home soil, but they did win their first ever game in a World Cup. And I'm fairly sure, just as it was when we had a major tournament in England, there will be plenty that have been inspired to take up the game and start supporting the game as well. Jutta Rantalat with a delivery that certainly asked a few questions. Bentley committed. Here is Deanne Rose, who can't turn, and it's smashed away. Well, the referee comes across here as Amelie Testrup has gone down under the challenge. One of Bristol City's new signings, who was on loan at West Ham last season, so has some good WSL experience. And in the first half, it looked like a pretty good partnership between Testrup and Jones, although they haven't necessarily had the service in the second half that they need to cause any kind of trouble. Elsewhere in the Women's Super League, we had the earlier game today, Aston Villa against Manchester United. And Aston Villa, with only 10 players on the field after Kirsty Hansen was sent off, went down with a late goal for Manchester United. A good start for them as they look to keep on the pressure that they were able to apply at the top of the table last season. Good start for Brighton as well, as they beat Everton by 2-1. And this could perhaps be a shock result elsewhere. I don't know if you've seen this one. Arsenal are currently behind to Liverpool with 68 minutes of that game gone. You can watch that one on the FA Player as well. Saw a lot of Liverpool in pre-season, in their pre-season tour, when they were in France against some of the top sides in Europe. Managed to pick up plenty of good experience by getting themselves involved in that tournament. And Liverpool are an interesting team for the season in the Women's Super League. There are a number of teams who will be looking to progress and push on to that next stage. Liverpool will perhaps serve as something of a blueprint to Bristol City. They were, of course, promoted back to the Women's Super League last season, Liverpool. And well, Liverpool were able to hold their own. They finished in mid-table. They weren't really even involved in any problems at the bottom of the table. Loose from Leicester at the back. Maybe a chance here for Bristol City to come forward. Here is Leicester. Bristol City trying to seize their chance. Lovely feet from Leicester, but she just ran out of pitch. And she rolls out of play for a goal kick. In the Leipzig with a pass that very nearly got her defence in trouble. It was well recovered by Tierney. And at the other end, Murray missed the header. And it took a Brooke Aspin clearance away to spare her blushes. Well, you can do all of the work in pre-season, but nothing ever replicates the intensity of a full match. Everybody always says it. We get into the final stages here, and it will be a test in the first game back to see where the fitness levels are at. Here's CJ Bott. Leicester's ball into the area, well blocked. Hannah Kane unable to pick out a teammate. And Bristol City able to bring the ball away. Well, Ward is coming on here for the final 16 minutes of the game. And Rachel Furness is the one who's replaced the Northern Ireland international. Looked good in the first half, but Leicester City have just overrun them in midfield in the second. Free kick by Murray. Can't find the flick on. Ransolat keeps finding these awkward spaces where she can punish the Bristol City defence. It's that spot in between midfield and defence. And she's ever so difficult to pick up. But it's Bristol City at the other end through Carrie Jones, who's had a brilliant game and who is driving Bristol City forward here, looking for a route back into the game. And they do have a corner here. Amelie Testrup stopped in her tracks. Shot was well blocked. Better though from Bristol City. They've had their moments in this game. Fabulous work by Jones. And a super sliding challenge from Courtney Nevin. Well, this is a big moment to try and get back into the game for Bristol City. Corner delivered in towards the front post, and there were plenty attacking it. Leicester couldn't quite make the connection. She'll get a second go here. Well, it was a good-looking delivery, and there was a vital touch in the middle. Leicester able to head the ball away. And I think that should have been a Bristol City throw-in, but it has been given to Leicester instead. While Leicester will be looking ahead to next weekend. Back in action in the Women's Super League with a home match against Everton. They'll be looking at that as another good opportunity to gain 3 points. Bristol City, well, it's a game they could certainly get something from against Tottenham. Difficult to say too much about Tottenham just yet, given that they don't play until later on today. London derby tonight, 5:30, Chelsea against Tottenham Hotspur. Ball lifted into the area here for Bristol City. Leipzig's come a long way. What a glorious chance for Satara Murray on her return to the club. She can only put the chance over the top of the bar though, much to the relief, I would imagine, of Janina Leipzig. Deanne Rose, another new signing for Leicester City. Back to Tierney. Wasn't necessarily a pass that I think she wanted on the edge of the penalty area. Does well to protect the ball and win the free kick. So much room over on this left-hand side, but Fran Bentley luckily spotted the pass and came out and was able to make the clearance. Here's CJ Bott. Back there was Naomi Lazell, who was able to touch the ball away. Whelan trying to connect with Rantzela, given away by Bristol City at the back. And Leicester are still pushing, and they're pushing pretty hard here. They want more. 10 minutes to go in the game. CJ Bott with the pass. And Hannah Kane with a reverse pass in towards Jutta Rantzela. Some really nice football being played by Leicester City. Lovely combinations. And those will only develop as the season progresses. Decent header away by Ella Powell, prevented the opportunity for Deanne Rose to come forwards. Tierney was trying to spin. Bristol City bringing the ball away. While time is quickly passing here, it's Leicester who are looking the more likely to add the next goal if there is to be one. Rose with the cross in towards the front post. Well, she went for power and she tried to deliver in. Ball ends up in the arms of Fran Bentley, who was able to make the catch. Rantala was the target. Does look like a find, Jutta Rantala. Here is Kaiman. Well, the pass nearly comes off, and then Hannah Kane was nearly able to get there as well. But Fran Bentley can sweep away. And this time it's Whelan who delivers in the cross. Good-looking ball as well. This drops. Another chance, another goal. Well, they keep on coming for a rampant Leicester City. It's now Bristol City 1, Leicester City 4. The new signings keep on impressing. Fabulous ball into the area to cause trouble. And then Rantala sweeps into that far corner quite brilliantly. Well, it's 3 new signings who are now on the score sheet for Leicester. Palmer, Rantala and Peterman. Willie Kirk must be struggling to contain the smile. It was always going to be tough for Bristol City, but you certainly feel that they would have been hoping for more on the opening day. Well, I really think the interview with Willie Kirk after the game is going to be really interesting, where we can hear about the changes that he made in the second half. Right now, Bristol City on the charge again. Surely that's a penalty. Has to be. And the referee does point to the spot. Well, CJ Bott went flying in. The challenge was always looking likely to lead to the penalty. And they won't be hanging around here, Bristol City, that is for sure. Amelie Testrup, a new signing this summer, arriving from PSV. Will be the one to take this penalty. Amelie Testrup, quite brilliantly, finds the corner of the net and gives Bristol City the opportunity to get back into the game. Well, they may just have been thrown a lifeline here. CJ Bott with the challenge that led to the penalty, and then how about this for a strike from the spot? Amelie Testrup fires in. Lovely hit. Leipzig was close, but not close enough. Well, a double change for Bristol City as they look to push in the final 3 minutes of the game. They may have left this a bit too late. But Shania Hales, who scored 11 goals in the Championship last season, is onto the field here. And she has said she's really eager to test herself at this level. Really eager to show what she can do against the very best. Can she make an impression here? Bristol City up into the area again, looking for another penalty. It's all eyes on the referee. And now Jess Simpson. Big header away by Murray at the back. Now a chance to break forwards through midfield for Jones. She's been so tenacious in this game. Could be a really good signing for Bristol City. They can't work it wide this time to Ella Powell. And Rose given the chance to bring the ball away. Jemmy Napier scrapping for it. Bristol City have certainly made it interesting with the second goal, but it looks as though maybe they've left this a bit too late. Nevin's pass, overhit, ball back with Fran Bentley. Not really any time to hang around here for Fran Bentley. Can't connect with the teammate with the clearance away. No way beyond Satara Murray, though, who battles to win it back. Well, that has to be a free kick. Surely the referee's going to pull play back there. Hales was challenged unfairly. Referee has thrown a yellow card up into the air. I'm not sure in which direction that was being pointed. Well, there's certainly a yellow card for the challenge. Josie Green, who was there to make that challenge, looked as though she threw a yellow card in someone else's direction. We are about to hit the 90. And Megan Connolly, the captain, has the opportunity to deliver one into the penalty area. Would be a dramatic end to the game if Bristol City were to score here. Connolly's ball, looking for the flick on, but it's Leicester who managed to get there. And Connolly will get another go here. Connolly's ball is a much better one this time. Sophie Howard underneath it to nod that one away. Well, it's all rather desperate now at the back from Leicester City. Real credit to Bristol City that they have managed to get themselves back into the game and given themselves a fighting chance at least. Minimum of 7 minutes to be added at the end of this game. There is time for Bristol City. Well, it's been a fabulous start to the Women's Super League season. A really entertaining game here. Plenty of goals, plenty of action. It looks as though we're about to get a shock elsewhere with Arsenal 1 behind against Liverpool. And at half-time, West Ham 0, Manchester City 0 is also the score. To the edge of the penalty area is where the free kick is sent. Easily turned away, and now look at the numbers racing forward here for Bristol City. Red shirts racing to get up inside the penalty area. Here's Carrie Jones. Jones with a pass. And Jamie Lee Napier very quickly closed down. Thumping challenge by Rose. And one in return from Bristol City to win the ball back. They have 5 minutes to go here. Well, I'm fairly sure that Bristol City fans would have expected a few nervy moments over the season. And it all starts here on the opening day. It will be a nervy ride. Get yourself set. Hales trying to use some muscle to win the ball. Rantala onto Whelan. Clever pass from Aileen Whelan, and that was a really good ball as well, but there was just nobody there to meet Kaiman's delivery to the edge of the 6-yard box. Leicester have some really intelligent players now. The way that they're playing is, well, this is only the first day. It's only going to improve. Kaiman and Rantala together in that midfield space, looking really good, certainly in the attacking third. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them, in the same way that Aston Villa did last season, really take the game to some of the top teams over the course of the campaign. Well, Leicester rather casual at the back. They nearly lost the ball there. CJ Bott happy to go backwards before Leicester move it forwards. Well, it seems a strange thing to say given that they've conceded 4 goals, but Satara Murray's looked really good at the back. Could be a great addition for Bristol City, touching away. And it's perhaps no surprise that Leicester are not in a hurry here. 3 minutes to go. Nicely worked here to find Kane. Kane's delivery, and now Rose. Rose looking to wrap up the game. Sees the effort well saved by Fran Bentley. Ella Powell looking a bit worse for wear in the middle. There was a collision between 2 Bristol City players. Emily Syme was the other one who was there. Well, last season, the criticism for Leicester was that they didn't create enough goal-scoring opportunities. They've had 16 shots in this game. Dominated the ball again, 64% of the possession. And in the second half, they have really gone up a gear. Here is Rose. Has far too much room on the edge of the penalty area. Can't do too much with the pass, and it's turned away. Tierney can't bring under control, though. Jones a bit too eager to play the pass. Hales has done well. So's Jones. Oh, she turned, but she ran into Rantzela. It looks as though Leicester are about to hold on for their first win of the season on the opening day in the Women's Super League. Has been a masterclass from Willie Kirk again, this time in the second half, just as he did last season in the second half of the campaign. They have been a different outfit. They've looked completely different in this second period. Really impressed by Rantzela. Her pass to find Rose. Lovely touch. And now Rose looking to drive forward, a player perhaps with a point to prove. And that will be that. Leicester turn up the heat in the second half with 3 second-half goals. A tough start to life back in the Women's Super League for Bristol City as it finishes here. Bristol City 2, Leicester City 4. Well, Willie Kirk there looking delighted, and so he should be, because in the first half, Bristol City gave his team plenty to think about. They were really progressive, they pushed their fullbacks forwards, and when it came to their moments, they really tried to take their chances. Big hit here from long range from Ella Powell, testing the goalkeeper Janina Leitzig. And despite the fact that they really tried to push in the game, they tried to get into these wider spaces, Leicester, they were restricted to long efforts on goal, long-range strikes. This the best of them, perhaps, from Sophie Howard there. And they just weren't really clicking. Kyman with a chance. She put that one wide. And then the opening goal. Carrie Jones making her debut against the side that she was on loan at last season with a fine strike. And you just wondered whether or not we had a big surprise on our hands here. Bristol City took advantage here at home. It would have been a big, big story. But then before the break, Leicester were able to fight back. They had a chance to make it to Carrie Jones, could so easily have scored another. Brilliant recovery by Sophie Howard. And then Leicester turned up the heat just before half-time. They had this chance, so Brian put that one over the top. And then they made the most of this one. Against her former sides, Amy Palmer making her debut for Leicester City with an absolute cracker. Well, they pushed a bit more before half-time, and perhaps this should have been a warning sign for Bristol City of what was about to come, because in the second half, it was a completely different Leicester City side, so dominant, created so many chances. They had the most of the ball, and they had lots of the ball in these kind of areas, and they made the most of it just 5 minutes into the second half. Shannon O'Brien with the chance. And she smashed that one beyond Fran Bentley, and from here they never really looked back. Jutta Rantzela came on, made a real difference. Fed the pass through to Shannon O'Brien, who was trying to connect for a third goal, which didn't take too long. It came from the corner, and Lena Peterman was there with a powerful header. An absolute bullet to beat Fran Bentley. They made sure with goal number 4 that wasn't too far away. Kyman could so easily have been the scorer of the 4th. She tested Fran Bentley here. Bristol City didn't really have too much in response, it has to be said. A couple of balls into the penalty area that caused a few problems. If they'd scored here, it may well have been a different story. Satara Murray on her return put that one over the top of the bar. But it was the impressive Rantzela who got on the end of a brilliant delivery from Aileen Whelan, tucking that one into the bottom corner. And the new signings doing ever so well. 3 of them on the score sheet. There was a late penalty for Bristol City. It was well dispatched here by Amelie Testrup, but it all came a bit too late. This was in vain. It was really nothing more than a consolation. The damage had been done. And despite all of the pushing that came late in the game from Bristol City, they just couldn't find a way to test Leicester again. And Leicester could so easily here through Rose have added goal number 5. A welcome return to the Women's Super League, a thoroughly entertaining match-up here. A tough start to life in the Women's Super League for Bristol City, and a brilliant performance from Leicester, who pick up from where they left off last season. Bristol City 2, Leicester City 4 is how it finishes here. Thanks for joining us on the FA Player.